From this angle, a cool looking boat. We get in closely, we can see it's got some wear on it and tear. That's loose but can be tacked back down. Notice the hull. If you think that looks bad, that's what it looked like before I cleaned it with rubbing alcohol. Nice little motor. I put a couple of batteries in, plugged the motor into the fake Evinrude fuel tank. I love the look of that thing. There's the lever here. We lift it up. The decks, I haven't done a real close inspection, but overall they look to be in pretty good condition. And so far it seems like this white substance that's on them will rub out. So I think this thing has potential. So I stripped it down, if it were, took off the ensign. And be very careful if you take one of those off. That's a little tiny spring that goes inside here. And it provides the pressure to hold this flagstaff in whatever position you tilt it at. It was a little bit loose, so I stretched the spring out a bit. This is the outboard, and you can read on there, it says Langcraft, L-A-N-G, and they are from Japan, and that's the company that produced these. I'm hoping that will clean up the way the hull cleaned up with some alcohol. Inside, Japan. Again, I love how they did that for the battery connectors. And there's the ugly looking battery holder with a very cool on-off switch. Almost like a throttle lever on an outboard. I can't see up in the bow. I guess that's just painted in there. The window is held on by 3 brads. One is missing here, and putting that into place and bending it around will, I think, make that look nice. And I believe I had that front light working also. So let's find an area on the side and see what happens with a little bit of rubbing alcohol on that. That's pretty good. Well, it took about 3 minutes. Actually less than that, because that included walking into the other room to find a rag. I got a heavy duty cotton rag here with these little nubbies on the end. I just soak that thing with alcohol and wipe it down. So I guess more of the bigger areas, then I'll dig out the cotton swabs and see if we can detail it up around the gunnels. I've gone through cotton swabs and the big rag, and now to get underneath these areas like here in the gunnel, I've got a little Scotch-Brite pad. Small one is easier to handle, and just push on that and gets right up in that crack and kind of cleans it up. Here's the other side where I've got a preliminary first pass. There's still some little pieces in there, but the bulk of it comes out pretty easy using this. I have to get that whole area and the bottom, but it's coming along really pretty good. The hull is pretty well wiped down. The outboard came out really nice. All that gunk that was on it really came off just one easy wipe. Again, the cleaning on this is just keep rubbing and wiping. And I kept everything pretty wet when I was working on the hull here. The inside area, I just kind of dampened the Q-tip and went around in there. I didn't clean that up maybe as much as it should be, but I got all any loose gunk out of there. So we'll have to do a side-by-side. I'm actually still not done with the decks. I'm going to oil them lightly with some light machine oil of all things. I wish I knew what went over the battery. I've seen other models of Langcraft that have a four deck that opens up to put the battery holder in, but this doesn't seem to have that. The corner of the window in front of us here was loose. It was not connected to the gunnels or whatever that piece is. So I got it in there, and I used a safety pin, stainless steel chrome-plated safety pin, to hold it in. I didn't have any small brads. and it's kind of bent underneath. I think you can see that here. This is the final version as far as I'm concerned. The next owner can do more. Sadly, I had to replace the silk ensign. It literally just fell apart. I've got a two-sided one on here that I made. And I also made a really funky seat. This is just some foam that I cut up and marked with a couple of colored Sharpies. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be hip upholstery? Anyway, I just wanted something to hide the battery. And we'll look at that. Yeah, I love how much better the outboard looks. It came out really nice. I did not get the light to work. I did go over the decks. Look around the internet, some of the other boats made by Landcraft and other Japanese makers back in the 50s. They did a really good job on these things. Way to go, Japan! Crusty Bob, over and out.